So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to find and catch every single Eeveelution, including Eevee, in the wild, so you don't have to evolve them. Now, if you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a like because it's going to take me a long time to record, but if you don't like it, no pressure, that's completely fine as well. And if you want to stick around for more, be sure to subscribe. Now, I've already done a guide on how to evolve every single Eevee, or I guess Eeveelution rather. Now, if you want to see that video, I'll link it down in the description below. It might be your best bet. It might be a lot easier, to be quite honest with you guys. Depending, but I'm going to show you guys where you could find these Eeveelutions. So if you do stumble across them, then hey, at least that's one less you have to evolve, or if you stumble across all of them. Now, going into the Pokedex, you're going to see that they're listed from 179 all the way up to 187, going from Eevee to Sylveon. So there's 8 Eeveelutions in this game. Now, the cool thing is I can actually go into this portion here and show you the habitat. So I actually already know where Eevee lives. It's usually around near towns and cities. It's rarely seen. But for some of the Eeveelutions, it actually says that they're very rarely seen, although I've encountered quite a few of them myself. So I'll show you guys exactly where to find them, what it looks like when you actually encounter one. Like I said, that portion might take me a little while to do that. One other thing before we start jumping into this, okay, that is very important to note, is sandwiches. Okay, so we're in front of a sandwich shop here in Medali. Now, if I open up my map, you see where Medali is exactly. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think I am. So it's kind of like northwest of the Great Crater. So down here is your school. We go past the crater, top left in the West Province area. What is it? Area 3? I can't see that. The raid things in the way. Anyways, Medali's right here. Now, unfortunately, the sandwich shops are not listed. So like over here, we have the Treasure Eatery, which is a restaurant, and we have these places here. Now, these places are going to be great for picking up ingredients to make your own sandwiches, and you do that in a picnic. I'll show you guys how to do that really quick. But what I think, oh, by the way, see, there's an Eevee right here. This is the first location we're going to go check out in a second, but it's right by Medali. That's where I got all my Eevees. But I want to show you guys something really quick, because if we go into the sandwich shop, there's two things that are worth noting. Number one is if you want to learn how to make more of your own sandwiches, there's this guy sitting here to the right. He's always going to have a yellow speech bubble above his head. If you talk to him, there's certain ingredients you're going to have to get in the wild, and when you do, he's going to give you a bunch of new recipes. So that's how you get more recipes for the picnic stuff, and then you could always buy some. I mean, at the shop, it's a little bit more limited. You can see there's only like 5. Each sandwich shop's going to probably have different ones, mind you, but what you can see is that the encounter power gets increased for certain ones, right? So if you're trying to find Vaporeon, for example, this zesty sandwich increases the encounter power for water. And that means more water type Pokemon are going to show up, and that includes Vaporeon. If I go to the jam sandwich, you see there's no encounter power, so on and so forth. This one is for fighting, so we're not going to really use that. This one's for electric, so it'd be good for Jolteon. So you kind of get the gist of it, right? There's sandwiches for normal type Pokemon, all kinds of Pokemon. So again, that's a great way to increase your chances. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go start catching all of these Eeveelutions, starting off with the first one, which is going to be Eevee. Alright, so we found our first Eevee right here. Now, there is one thing I will say. So this is outside of Medali. I showed you guys earlier, but in case you skipped through the video, I'll show you guys one more time in our what you call it, our map or whatever after, because it'll show the habitat, and it'll show other locations you can find Eevee as well. But you're gonna go ahead and catch it. The one thing to note about these Eevees outside of Medali is, unfortunately, that this is also where Ditto likes to hang out. So you might end up just catching a Ditto instead of an Eevee. So just bear that in mind if you are really trying to get an Eevee. And I mean, you know what? Worst comes to worst, you catch a Ditto and an Eevee, then you could try to breed them, right? And then again, that kind of goes into the whole, like, you know, the whole Eeveelutions, you know, evolving them yourself. Anyway, so if we open a Pokedex here, we're going to go to Eevee's habitat right here, since it's a previously caught one. So you can see the 4 yellow squares at the top left of the crater is where we're at right now. This is Medali, but you can also see the other locations that Eevee will be at too, in kind of the southwestern area, very specifically. But I honestly would just recommend coming to Medali. It's the easiest way to get an Eevee, in my opinion. This is where I found tons of them. And now we can move on to the next one and start with the Eeveelutions. Oh look, another Eevee, and it disappeared. Alright, so I have found my first Vaporeon, and it actually didn't take me too long, honestly. Even though they're very rarely seen, it only took me, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes to catch, or not to catch, but to find this one. It may be because I knew where to go. I've seen a lot of them hanging out in this area, so we're going to go ahead and catch it first. Well, I almost caught it. I don't really need to catch it, technically speaking, but I'll do it anyways, just for the sake of, I guess, thoroughness, showing you guys what it looks like to catch each one. but I'm gonna go ahead and catch it. This one is actually in the kind of snowy region. You're gonna find like a big wide area in the snowy region where you're gonna find a ton of Vaporeon and stuff like that. So hold on, let me just catch this and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. All right, so I caught it. I used a repeat ball because I already had a Vaporeon, so I figured maybe that would actually do well. Don't want to attack it because I'm currently level 100 and it was currently level 45. Anyway, so I'll show you guys exactly where I'm at, and I'll show you guys the entire habitat of this Eevee. This is where I found a ton, like a ton. So if you go to North Province Area 3, you can see where it is right here. Right up here. Now, I'll show you guys. There's many locations where you can find a Vaporeon. But North Province Area 3, right by the stream. So this is where the Poke Center is right there. And just down here. This is actually, if you've seen my guide on how to level up fast, where we came for that method as well. But if you just kind of like go up and down the stream, eventually a Vaporeon will typically spawn around this stream right here. That said, if you want to find it in other locations, it's actually in a lot of locations. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll show you guys the habitat right now. So you can see basically almost the entire like upper left section of the map is where you can find a Vaporeon. Certain sections randomly in the bottom left and in the top right area of the map, and these two tiny squares, you can typically see that they're by streams, right? A lot of it is by streams. There's a huge body of water in the top left corner there. But anyways, this stream right here I think is kind of your best bet. Again, it says very rarely seen, so it's going to be a little bit less common. I didn't use any sandwiches or anything like that, and I was just able to find one perfectly. So anyways, we can move on to the next one, which I believe is Jolteon. Alright, my friends, I finally found a Jolteon. Wow, I found a lot of Jolteons. Okay, well, now I know where to go. So, wow, that's a lot of Jolteons. Oh my goodness. Alright, well, now I really know the absolute perfect spot for you to go. I just wasted about 20 to 30 minutes looking in this one location, and now I know not to send you guys there. So what I did is I used I ate a sandwich that increased the encounter power for electricity, but the location I was at, there was a bunch of Raichus, and I think that was kind of the problem. So you can see there is a lot of Jolteon here, which is the perfect location. So let me show you guys where I'm at right now, and I'll show you guys where the other location was. So right here, if we look in the map, it's just kind of like West Province area, what is that, 3, 2? I don't know. It's basically just kind of south of CORSAIR Lake, if that's how you pronounce it. So there's a stream, right? You see how there's like a stream and it branches off here, and there's a stream and it branches off here? Well, if you look all along this top section on this side of the stream, from this branch to that branch, all along here is where the Jolteon will typically be. Now, it says it could be all the way up here too, right? In the, what is this place called again? Sokarat Trail. But the problem here is when you use the electricity encounter, you're going to get a bunch of Raichus, and you're just never going to find a Jolteon there. So this location right here, as soon as I came here, you guys can see there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just caught one. That was 6, and there's 7. There's a lot of Jolteons. I don't know what this is. Not a Jolteon. Anyways, let's move on to the next one, my friends. Hold on real quick, just to show you guys on the map, because I want to be thorough. This is where Jolteon is, the 2 locations. I was in the top left corner. Do not go there. Go to the other location. It's like I said, by the streams on the bottom right, southeast of that lake. Okay, now you can see what it looks like on the map, where its habitat is. Those are the only 2 places on the map. Again, this place was the best place, so just go there. All right, guys, so here's a Flareon, finally. This one actually didn't take me quite as long. I did have to cruise around the mountains a little bit, but yeah, so basically Flareon really loves the mountains, so that's where you're going to typically find Flareon. I'll show you guys the habitats. There's a bunch of areas in the kind of northern section, and there's one like chunk in the kind of southwest section where you can find Flareon. I'll show you guys where I found this one, just in case this is the best place to be. I don't think it is, because if we look around, there was only one that I randomly ran into. So I think I ran into it just by chance. Yeah, see, there's a lot of other ones. I do have fire type encounter on. But let me show you guys exactly where I'm at. So this is where I'm at right here, just to the west of Delazapa Passage. Just kind of south of Glaceon Mountain. You see where there's like a mountain range right here. I'm just kind of in the bottom section here. The problem is there's a lot of other fire type Pokemon in this area. There's another section down here. I'll show you guys the map in a minute. But this whole area here, this mountain range, right where Alfornada is, apparently Flareon can be found around here as well. I didn't go there. I was about to go there next, but I didn't end up going there because I encountered Flareon up here. But I would maybe check down there first. Where am I going here? I would maybe check down there first, but let me show you the habitat. So this is the map. You can see, so kind of like on the right side of Glacedo, whatever it's called, mountain, like in that top right corner, and then just kind of like between the crater and the snowy region, the Glacedo mountain is where I'm at. That's where you can find it as well. But in the very, very bottom left, again, over there, is where you're going to find Flareon down there also. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Like I said, it's just kind of the mountain ranges here, right? There's other fire type Pokemon like this thing right here in front of me. It spawns a lot, and there's like another one that I don't see right now. But anyways, try them both out. Yeah, this one, these guys, those guys. Anyways, try them out, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, guys, so I found some Espeon. Now, it's very important to note that Espeon can only be found during the day. So if it's nighttime, you're not going to find an Espeon. You're going to have to wait till daytime. Likewise, I would assume Umbreon's going to be found at night. I have yet to check, but I assume that's the way it's going to be. And I'm going to show you guys exactly where I went. There are sandwiches that are going to give you psychic encounter boost. You just got to look for them. Like I said, there's basically a sandwich for every single kind of encounter. You just got to look for them. You got to get all the recipes from that guy, like I said, in the sandwich shop, and all the good stuff, and you're pretty much good to go. So we got our Espeon. I'll show you guys exactly where I went. Now, this one is actually near one of those Team Starfall bases. This is like at the very, very, very northern section of the map. So I'm going to go into my map right here. I'll show you guys exactly where you can find it, and I'll show you guys exactly where I found it. So this is where its habitat is. You can see very northern section where that like kind of lighthouse looking thing is. There's like a big kind of pool, and it's in that general area. And then there's kind of like that stream kind of area at the bottom left of the mountain and the bottom right of that huge lake. So this is where I found it. So again, it appears throughout the day. It's very rarely seen. And where I ended up finding it was right here. So where I'm at is this beach. This beach line at the very, very tip of the map. So this is North Province Area 3. This is where the, I don't know, one of the Starfall bases is right here. But again, it's right way north. See? Very, very top. There's like a little lighthouse looking thing. So way north, it's right up here on the beach. And this is where I found a bunch of them. And look, there's a Sylveon too. So it is worth noting. I'll show you guys how to find Sylveon as well. But there's a Sylveon that hangs out here. This one I think is kind of just baked into the game. So it's guaranteed to always be here. It's a Terastallize one. It actually usually hangs out right over here. So usually you can find it right on this little trail here. You can see it's right here. It'll follow you around. So you can find an easy Sylveon. But once we get to Sylveon, I'll show you guys, again, for thoroughness, where you can find it as well. Alright guys, so I found Umbreon. It's nighttime. I'm going to go grab Umbreon. I'll show you guys exactly where to find it. Now, I was kind of curious, right? Because typically, Umbreon being like a nighttime kind of Pokemon, I was wondering if it would only show up in caves. And one of the things that I started to notice about the locations on the map, at least as far as I can tell, is a lot of them have caves in that general area. And so the area that I came into, I ended up coming into a cave because I was looking outside all over the place, could not find an Umbreon for the life of me. And as soon as I walked into this cave, I spotted that Umbreon right there, as well as a bunch of Sableyes and stuff like that. So I do have encounter up for darkness. But yeah, basically look for the cave areas. So anyways, let me exit this whole Sableye attack real quick. And I'll show you guys where I'm at, and I'll show you guys where exactly to go from here. So let me just backtrack real quick because there's a cave opening. So right here is what is it called again? Hold on. It's called Delazapa Passage, and it's right north of the crater of Paldea and south of the whatever, the mountain. I forget what it's called right now. So this is the Pokestop, and I just went into that cave. There's another cave over there. So if I show you guys exactly where the locations are on the map, its habitat, first of all, it appears only at night, like I said, right? But you can see that in that area that I'm at right now, there's caves. And then I noticed at the bottom left corner, a lot of that area, I'll show you guys bigger on the map just so you guys can get a little bit of an idea. But And if you go at the bottom left corner, I think this would be another great place to search if I was you. Down here, so not necessarily in Alfornata town or whatever, but right underneath it, there are tons of caves. Like there's a cave opening like right here. There's a cave opening right up here on this path. There's like 50 ways to get into these caves. There's like caves going this way. There's so many different caves. So I think that's what would probably, I would recommend searching there first, or you can come to where I was here. Either way, do it at night, go into the caves. I think that's where you're going to have the most luck finding an Umbreon. And we should be go to continue this. Oh, look, there's a Jolteon when we don't need it. That's always fun. Don't know where the Leafeon is, but the Jolteon's just hanging out here. That's cool. Oh, look, a Leafeon. Okay, I spoke too soon. Well, there it is, my friends. Leafeon, he's sweating. He's sweating. He's trying to get away from us. We're not letting it happen. Dude, I couldn't find any, I could not find any grass encounter power-ups. I had one, but I guess I had like a super rare recipe item. Anyways, I ended up wasting it. I couldn't find it. I came back to it. And anyways, we found the Leafeon. I'm going to show you guys where I found it. It's in the same area where we were trying to find Jolteon. The first area that we were trying to find Jolteon. But it's, yeah, this is where you're going to find Leafeon. So kind of at the very, very, very top of the map. So if you look at the map, I'm gonna zoom all the way out. You can see where at the literally the top left where the big lake is, all the way northwest. Right above the lake, there's the what is it called? Something trail, Soracat Trail or something like that. I ended up finding it right here. We could find it anywhere around this trail, basically. It's also where we found the Jolteon earlier. So Jolteon and Leafeon have literally the exact same habitat. So you can see right here. Pretty much the exact same to a T. So if you're looking for a Jolteon, you might as well look for a Leafeon at the same time, or vice versa. So Jolteon and Leafeon. There is one thing I do want to show you guys, though, that I ran into while looking for a Jolteon. You see this little pond down here? So if you just kind of go all the way west down here, this little pond, there's a Terastallized Vaporeon in there. So if you go down to this pond, again, it's at like the very, well, kind of like the west of CORSAIR Lake. Right here in this pond, there's just a Vaporeon. Terastallize. Again, I'm pretty sure that's like those are kind of set and they're there for everybody. So you can go there and see for yourselves. And if you're struggling with Vaporeon, and get it that way as well. But there you go. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you where you could find a Terastallized Glaceon, however you want to pronounce it. I say Glaceon because it's like a glacier, but whatever. However you want to pronounce it. So I will show you also a normal encounter as well, if I can, run into one. But Montevenera, if I'm pronouncing that right, just kind of like northeast. So northeast of the mountain, right? Glaceto Mountain. Right here. I don't know if you're going to have this right there, so don't look at that. But look at all these squigglies. See these squiggly things? Just kind of on the very right one. Just south of that, you're going to see kind of like a little like mass right here. And right here is where to go now. Okay, well, it was here a second ago. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Right here is where you're going to find a Terastallize Sylveon. Oh, okay, ran into me. So, again, with Terastallized ones, you are going to have to battle it a little bit. And my problem with that is that I'm always afraid of, destroying it. I don't want to make it faint or whatever, especially since right now, time of recording this, I am extremely high level. But anyways, this is where you can find one. It's probably a guarantee to be here, I would assume. I think the Terastallized ones are usually pretty much a guarantee. But either way, I'll try to show you guys a normal one as well. And, just for sake of thoroughness. Alright guys, so I finally found a Glaceon. Anyways, it's right here. I'm not going to catch this one too, because I already caught the other one. But anyways, well, you know what? Let's just go. Whatever. Let's catch a second one, just for the heck of it, I suppose. But anyways, where you're going to find this one is basically in the deep snow. So that's typically where you're going to find this one. Where's my repeat balls? So basically anywhere in the snowy region, in the mountain, in the northernmost part of the map. I'll show you guys on the map just right here in a second. We caught it. And I'll show you guys exactly where I found mine. Again, this isn't to say that you're going to find, every single one of these Pokemon at the exact spot where I'm at. But maybe, maybe that you'll get a general idea, the general area to look for. Because I know for me, if I don't know, so up here, by the way, if I don't know exactly where a spot is or where something's been seen, I feel like sometimes I'm going crazy when I don't see it for a while. Montevenera, just kind of north of there. You can see kind of north of like this kind of brown patchy stuff, right up here, like kind of to the right. So this area is considered deep snow. So again, if I open up the locations in the Pokedex here, so let me go to Glaceon over here, click on the habitat. You can see literally anywhere in the snowy region basically is where it can show up. So you can just traverse the whole snowy area until you find a Glaceon, however you want to pronounce it, and you'll be good to go. So hopefully that helps you out with that one. Alright guys, so we finally found a Sylveon right here. Gonna go encounter it. I'll show you guys exactly where to find it. It's there's not many places actually to find a Sylveon. There's kind of just one particular spot. I mean, there's more than that. Technically speaking, there's actually two. There's two spots. But yeah, this one was a real pain, man. I don't know. It took me a long time. And yeah, so anyways, go ahead and catch the Sylveon. I'm going to show you guys exactly where it is. Sorry if I'm stuttering a little bit. I'm just been at this for a while, man. I've been at this for a while. So I'm going to catch a Sylveon. Like I showed you guys earlier during our, what was it, Espeon. So if you go back to the Espeon section, to the end of that section, I showed you guys where you can find a Terastallized Sylveon, like pretty much guaranteed. I'll show you guys again on the map real quick. I'm not going to go back there if you want to see the exact location, you know, kind of spawning in there. Like I said, go back to the Espeon section, but I'm going to open up the map. For Sylveon to spawn, it's going to be around Alfornada. So just around here is where you're going to see Sylveon spawning in. So just kind of like see all this brown kind of field area. Anywhere around here. Literally just go in circles around Alfornada until you find it. The other spot you can find it is if you go all the way north, all the way to North Province Area 3, and you go all the way down to the end of this path. See this path right here that leads to the beach? At the very end of the path right here is going to be a Terastallized Sylveon. So that's where you can find Sylveon much more easily. Otherwise, let me show you guys where the habitat for Sylveon would normally be. So you guys can take a look at that. So we're going to open up the habitat. And you can see there's like one random square in the top left, kind of middle of the map. The easiest place is definitely going to be right where I'm at right now in Alfornada for Sylveon. So there you go. That's Sylveon. Well, there you guys have it, my friends. That is how you catch Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, and Sylveon in the wild in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And in case you're wondering, the final recording time is 3 hours. It took me 3 hours just to record this. Now I got to edit it down. So again, if you did enjoy this one, if you found it useful, a like would definitely be super appreciated. And if you guys share it with your friends and all that good stuff. If you don't want to, if you don't like it, that's completely fine. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I hope though, at the end of the day, you found this video useful and that helps you get all your Eeveelutions. Again, if you want to see how to just evolve them all, I'll link that video guide down in the description below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay well, and until then, game on.